Wild boar has a very high population growth rate, about 20–25% per year. That is due to these abilities to reproduce rapidly and these abilities to live in a variety of environments. Biologists and wildlife managers estimate that 60–70% of the wild boar population would need to be removed each year just to maintain the current population. Wild boars are large and intelligent animals. Adults can weigh up to 661.38 pounds. Invasive wild boars can move alone or in groups to forage. The moving speed is quite slow because there are many obstacles while moving. Hunting wild boar by helicopter in the US is an exciting activity that attracts the attention of many people. However, the cost of renting a helicopter to hunt wild boar can range from $2,000 to $5,000 USD per hour. On average, wild boar hunting helicopters can fly at speeds of 100 to 150 miles per hour. Texas is a popular state for helicopter hunting of feral hogs. These places often have plain terrain, open forests, and swamps, creating favorable conditions for hunting. The helicopter hunting adventure for wild boar is an exciting experience and an exciting challenge. Hunters will search for wild boars from above and then use hunting tools to take them down. In the United States, laws regarding wild boar hunting often vary from state to state. During hunting season, states allow wild boar hunting during a certain period of the year. However, some states allow wild boar hunting year-round with a special license. Estimates of the number of wild boars hunted each year range from several hundred thousand to several million. When a wild boar is detected, the hunter immediately informs the pilot, and together they fly to the animal's location. After getting close to the target, the hunter uses hunting tools to take down the target. Typically, wild boars are taken down from the back of the head or neck to ensure quick and effective takedown. The average range of view for a helicopter when hunting is about 750 feet. This means the helicopter can hit a target 750 feet away. However, there are hunting devices that can hit targets at a range of 1,000 feet. Therefore, hunting can be done in many different ways, requiring precision and skill on the part of the hunter and pilot. When lowering a helicopter, the safe altitude depends on the terrain and the type of helicopter. Helicopter propellers play an important role in repelling wild boars and herding them into easy-to-kill areas, and the noise from the propellers also helps hunters easily detect them in the bushes. However, wild boars are often easiest to take down when they are moving or feeding, and open areas also make it easier for hunters to target. The number of wild boars that can be defeated each time can be from 1 to 3 wild boars. However, it should be noted that using helicopters to hunt wild boars has its advantages and disadvantages. This method allows hunters to access remote areas and can take down many wild boars in a short time. However, it also comes with high costs and can pose dangers to both people and other animals in the area. That is especially true when hunting by aircraft occurs near residential or natural areas. Therefore, caution and careful consideration are necessary before employing this method to ensure safety and protect the surrounding environment. Many argue that using helicopters to eradicate wild boars may disrupt the ecological balance. They help control small animal species, scatter seeds, and create conditions for plant growth. Using helicopters to hunt wild boars can cause environmental pollution due to noise, emissions, and waste. Noise pollution can affect water and air quality. Helicopter emissions can pollute the environment, and waste from hunting activities can pollute the landscape. Using helicopters for wild boar hunting is often seen as inhumane because it can lead to the destruction of young or pregnant wild boars. Hunting wild boar by helicopter is an increasingly popular method in the US because of its efficiency and speed. However, this method also faces many challenges, and the intelligence of wild boars affects hunting efficiency. Please comment on number 1 if you think the method of defeating wild boars by helicopter is effective. If you disagree, comment 0. Like and subscribe to the channel to wait for the latest videos.
In the dark of Wyoming, the howl of a wolf echoes just 150 feet away. One mistake and I lose everything. Back in the 1990s, wolves took half of my family's livestock, leaving behind a deathly shadow. The USDA valued the damage statewide at $80 million, 0 cents. We were helpless. Every night their howls mocked us, and we kept asking, how do you stop a predator this smart? Now in 2025, I am a 60-year-old hunter entering the most intense hunt of my life, armed with an AR-15 and a pulsar scope. But is technology enough to outsmart the smartest predator? This battle began the moment night fell over Wyoming, a place where the cold cuts straight to the bone. I crouched behind a snowy ridge, staying out of sight from one of America's top predators.
I'm good anytime.
And let me tell you this, if you don't understand that truth, your coyote hunting will fail before it even begins. My Badlands Apex jacket shielded me from the brutal cold throughout the entire hunt. In 2025, the Fox Pro Hammerjack 2 lit up the silence with its latest wounded pup call, luring coyotes from a distance into my shooting range.
Got him.
And like every serious American hunt, the AR-15 was locked, loaded and ready, still the go-to choice in predator hunting. But in your region, what's your trusted gear? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to learn from your perspective. I thought I had the tools, but what I lacked was understanding. Through a heavy snowfall, I activated the Fox Pro Hammerjack 2's distress call. Suddenly, a coyote appeared, its eyes glowing just 65 feet away. My heart raced, but then the Bluetooth on the Fox Pro failed in the -5 degrees Fahrenheit cold. A slight squeak from my boots and the coyote disappeared. In the cold, I missed. But the next night I changed tactics, using a manual call and lured a coyote closer, successfully took down the coyote during the day. Have you had any issues with your device? Share your tips in the comments.
Sounds
I am a hunter now 60 years old. I have been hunting coyotes in this area for 12 years. But that night, coyote hunting taught me a great lesson about the importance of hunting equipment. That is my story. If you have failed to hunt coyotes, please comment 1. If not, please comment 0. If you're hunting prairie wolves in 2025, you can't just carry a rifle. You have to bring top-of-the-line technology. The $2,800 0 cents Pulsar Thermion 3 scope helps you spot prey quickly. It picks up heat signals from half a mile away. Combined with the Fox Pro Hammerjack 2, I can activate the Predator call directly from my phone to lure them in. In theory, I have everything I need. I've hunted these plains for 6 decades. Back in the 1990s, if it weren't for coyotes hunting, they would have destroyed nearly everything my family built. My father taught me to hunt not for sport, but for survival, for our land, our way of life. And I still carry that purpose today. So now I ask you, what's your story? Ever faced the wild and walked away changed? Drop your thoughts below. And if you believe in hunting with purpose, join the movement. I need to comment right now. If you hunt for a reason, drop your story below and let's keep this wild alive. In Cape Town, baboons have become a growing menace, with their attacks on both agricultural land and residential areas causing significant problems. These intelligent invasive species are part of a tight-knit social group that has learnt to rummage through trash rather than forage naturally. This has led to environmental pollution, with baboons leaving a trail of waste in urban residential areas. The damage doesn't stop at trash, it also impacts local agriculture. According to the Cape Town Wildlife Conservation Authority, incidents involving baboons cause an estimated $3,500,000 in damage yearly. These attacks destroy crops, threaten livestock, and pose a direct risk to human safety. How much more damage must we endure before we find a solution to protect the people who have to deal with baboons directly? The continued threat of baboon attacks in Cape Town has prompted residents and authorities to look for ways to combat the problem. The city has implemented a virtual fence program which uses GPS tracking technology and predator sounds to keep baboons away. While this high-tech approach has brought some relief, experts warn that it is only a temporary solution and that baboons are highly adaptable. The government has also invested in rehabilitation centres to help baboons reintegrate into the wild, but are these measures enough to prevent future harm? Comment below if your area has adopted this approach and let us know what you think. After implementing temporary solutions, the South African authorities are now preparing for a more direct approach to baboon hunting. The key to success in baboon hunting is accuracy. Hunters must be properly trained in humane shooting techniques. They must be equipped with high-powered rifles, binoculars for observation, and protective gear for safety. Hunters must also keep a safe distance of at least 150 yards to avoid provoking the baboons. In South Africa, baboon hunting is strictly regulated to protect other animals and human property. Hunters are only allowed to shoot a limited number of baboons, no more than 50 per year in designated areas near agricultural fields and residential areas. Importantly, pregnant or lactating females are not allowed to enter to ensure the sustainability of the species. These policies have helped reduce the pollution caused by baboons in cities. Baboon hunting in South Africa is strictly regulated under the National Environmental Management and Biodiversity Act 2004, along with specific regulations from the Cape Nature Provincial Authorities in the Western Cape. When baboons cause serious damage to agriculture and property, or pose a threat to human safety, they may be classified as pests and can be legally hunted. If baboon hunting is in contravention of regulations, the penalties can be severe, including fines of hundreds of dollars, or the revocation of a hunting license. So consider before you go hunting until you have a good understanding of invasive species. Meanwhile, South African farmers and governments continue to refine their approach, incorporating education. This also answers the question of how we can coexist with wildlife that crosses the line from this invasive pest.
Straight down. Puyo.
Can US farmers adopt South Africa's rifle and quota system for wild boar, or will cultural and legal differences complicate such a transition? And as climate change and habitat loss push more species into human spaces, what are your top questions? Comment below. All your questions will be answered in the comments section. We welcome all your comments to improve the quality of the upcoming videos. If you are satisfied with the South African people's baboon hunting, please click the like button. Now, continue watching. Folks, pythons are no small problem in Florida. Over 100,000 of these invasive species are eating our animals, even alligators, costing us millions of dollars in ecological damage each year. It's scary to think that one could be near your home, right? But farmers and local people in the US are indeed not only fighting back, they are turning these pests into profit. Today we'll look at how they control pythons and raise them for profit, turning a bad thing into a good thing. Let's find out. Pythons didn't start there. They appeared in the Everglades around 1979, escaping the pet trade and exploding after Hurricane Andrew destroyed a breeding facility in 1992. By 2012, studies showed that this invasive species had wiped out 99% of raccoons and possums in some areas. It was an invasive species that disappeared from America in the blink of an eye. Farmers took action not only to eliminate it, but also to find smarter ways to protect their property. Here's how we're tackling the python problem today. Since 2017, the python removal program has paid hunters to remove more than 17,000 pythons from public lands by 2024. The Florida Python Challenge, which began in 2013, enlists people like us to help 200 pythons disappear in 10 days last year. Technology is also a game changer. Since 2020, AI cameras and radio tracking have captured 500 pythons in just one project, finding them where the naked eye couldn't see them. And the 2012 import ban has cut down on new escapes. These efforts are not just about eliminating harmful invasive species, but also about protecting birds, deer, and our peace of mind. We are taking back Florida, but what people will do with them next remains to be seen. Ever wonder who gets to hunt these pythons? In Florida, it's not just farmers and regular people who can do it, it's all legal. Hunters are given special permits from the state, like the Python Removal Program permit, that allows them to take pythons on public land, no questions asked. Some even make a little cash for each python. But safety is key. Safety is key! They wear thick gloves and boots to avoid being bitten. Use long poles to pin the pythons down without getting too close, and work in teams so no one is left alone with a 15-foot python. How can we get our swamps back from this invasive species? Please give your opinion. Now, this is where things get smart. Raising pythons for money. Farmers aren't raising them like chickens. It's not about having more pythons. They're catching pythons and managing them in controlled settings, turning a problem into a paycheck. Since 2018, people in South Florida have been using captured python skins and tanning them into leather to make boots, handbags, even wallets. One farmer who processes 50 skins a month sells them for $10.00 to $20.00 each, which is small but growing. By 2023, this niche market will reach $500,000, 0 cents statewide, with demand for python fashion growing. Restaurants are experimenting with python meat too. Think spicy python tacos. It's not just a cleanup, it's a job and value creation. Instead of being a menace, pythons are becoming a resource that eases the pain of losing our wetlands. You can help report pythons with the Python Hunting app, or buy a python skin wallet to support the cause. Imagine telling your grandkids how we turned a python attack around and restored the Florida ecosystem. Leave a comment. Subscribe to Mousefarm for more stories like this. In light of this, the initial approach by the government was to build fences around the banks of rivers and lakes to separate the invasive species from residential areas. These measures have proven ineffective, as crocodiles are good climbers. The government's decision to organise hunting trips to control the crocodile population. Focus on strict regulations for hunters and safety measures during hunting, using high-powered rifles and specialised training. Crocodile hunting in the wild is not for the faint of heart. Professional hunters carry 375 H&H Magnum or 458 Winchester Magnum rifles to ensure a quick knockdown of the invasive species. With scopes that zoom in on targets up to 200 yards away, they approach their prey with precision and strategy. The process is stressful when a crocodile is spotted, with hunters having to remain calm and assess its movements. But what if hunting isn't the only solution? Crocodile hunting in Africa is a high-risk endeavour that requires meticulous preparation. Hunters start by preparing large pieces of fresh meat to attract these dangerous predators, which are known to prefer raw meat. But bait alone is not enough. The meat must be strategically placed near the water where the crocodiles lurk. If the location is not right, the hunt will fail.
Go again. Again.
African governments spend millions of dollars each year to manage invasive species and ensure safety in these areas.
Okay. Perfect, but okay.
Conservation and hunting programs can cost up to $5 million a year. Binoculars were introduced by Africans in the late 19th century, especially for hunting, to improve their visibility in desert areas. These binoculars allowed hunters to observe their targets at ranges of up to 1,000 yards, even with poor eyesight. However, to ensure maximum safety during hunting, hunters often did not reveal themselves directly.
Yeah, you missed.
In the shoulder. Shoulder.
They used bush shelters to hide themselves from crocodiles, allowing them to observe them when they surfaced without being attacked. Do you have any other strategies? Please share them so that other hunters can gain more experience. Typically, a hunter is only allowed to take 1 or 2 crocodiles. These regulations help manage the population while ensuring the safety of the hunter and the environment. Would you like to take on this thrilling yet controlled challenge? Let us know in the comments. Using sturdy rods and reels, the team kept the line taut as they hauled in the giant croc. The croc weighed in at 11 feet. With careful teamwork, they eventually got the croc onto the boat, tagged it, and prepared for the next attempt. Have you tried this adventure yet? If so, comment number 1. If you see the key in this article to deal with a 6 fish, please comment below. If you are attracted to this daring sport, remember to subscribe to update more exciting adventures. If you want us to improve the content, please comment for a better experience in the next video. In Wyoming, the Wyoming Black Bear Derby hunting competition knocked down 2,000 black bears in 2020. However, this competition has caused concern among residents, especially near the Bighorn Mountains, because some hunters do not monitor the hunting process carefully, allowing many black bears to escape. This poses a potential risk that black bears may attack residential areas and disrupt public safety. In the woods beyond the hunting grounds, in several cases, mountain bikers have been attacked by black bears. The Wyoming Game Department said that there were about 75 attacks in the fall of 2020, mostly on cyclists. However, most of them were people with experience in wildlife behavior, so they were lucky to escape without any problems. When encountering a black bear, you need to raise your hands high and shout, making a loud noise to scare them away.
Hey!
The giant creatures, which can weigh up to 650 pounds, have begun making direct incursions into residential areas. Many residents in Wyoming towns have reported their homes being destroyed by the creatures in search of food. In 2020, the property damage was estimated at more than $2.5 million, including homes, vehicles, and agricultural buildings. With the severity of the problem increasing, Wyoming authorities have taken a gun-toting approach to the situation. This hunt will be different from the 2020 Wyoming Black Bear Derby. The authorities require hunters to be 21 years of age or older and to have a minimum health score of 85/100 on a health check. This is because hunters will be hunting in a variety of locations, including the Wind River Mountains and forested areas near Cody. Additionally, only about 1,500 hunters are allowed to participate, and each hunter needs to have at least 5 years of experience hunting black bears. With extensive hunting experience, the hunters came up with a solution to use corn bait to attract black bears to the hunting area. This method has increased the success rate to 75%, higher than previous competitions. Placing bait not only helps attract bears, but also gives hunters enough time to determine a suitable shooting position. They also rely on the bear's footprints on the ground to estimate their weight, thereby finding a hiding place and approaching the target.
And there he is.
Hunting has improved a lot as hunters travel by a TV, which shortens travel time and makes it easier to transport equipment. Before the hunting season begins, they will be introduced to the Remington 700 rifle, one of the most popular weapons with a range of up to 300 yards. The course lasts for 2 weeks, allowing hunters enough time to prepare and practice effective hunting techniques. To increase hunting efficiency, Wyoming authorities have combined the use of bows and arrows in Shoshone, down a person. Fortunately, none of these have happened. In the meantime, drivers must remain vigilant and take safety precautions.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.